My G, 1 second. I'll let it sort out its thing so you can speak before I say something of it. Yes, my G, you bless?
Yo, yes. Good, yeah?
Yeah, but the hay fever's mashing me up, bro.
But I just went to my sister's, yeah? And she lived in got a train to London Bridge and then a 381 towards Peckham. She lived on that down that way, innit?
Yeah.
Well, for the first time, I don't know how long, my nose went mad today, bruv. I was sneezing, bruv.
Yeah,
I was like, what is going on?
Was mad high. I think the pollen count was mad high today.
The necky motherfucker pollen and that, man.
Trust me, bro. Trust me. Gaspanic, how are you, brother?
All good, lads. All good. How's yourselves?
Hey,
yeah. All good, Gas.
My hay fever was really bad today, man. Really, really bad today. But, you know, we move. You know what I mean? And, like, it's not like I could try and sort out my hay fever, because I've tried. Like, and that's, but nothing works. Not even what doctors prescribe me and that even works. So I've just got to deal with it.
Does it make you sneeze all the time?
Yeah, I sneeze all the time. Like, my hay fever was really bad, so I sneeze all the time. But my nose gets like a dry runny, so it feels like it's running, but it's dry. You know what I mean? Not only that, I get this. This is gonna sound weird, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if Jay's ever heard it. You know what I mean? But like, there's times I could be talking to you, and then when you're talking back to me, and I don't say nothing, my nose starts to click. It starts to do click.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that shit before. I've got to say, like, I feel your pain, but at the same time, I'm jealous, because I fucking love sneezing.
That's mad.
I hear you. I hear you, man. Joey, what you saying, bro?
Yes, how's everyone doing, man?
Chris, hay fever. My hay fever was really bad today, man.
Hey, what was the other symptom you said that you were gonna say?
Like that, my nose clicks. I have a nose, like I have a nose click with my hay fever. So so often it sounds like a really loud, like a really amplified, like clock ticking sound.
That's mad.
Like so, like and right now I'm actually stopping myself from doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and I know, like I might just let it go 1 minute, and then all of a sudden you're gonna go, "What's that man sound?" And I can say, "That's my nose, bruv." It just starts going.
But you know, you've never had hay fever that bad before, have you?
Yeah, ever since I've had hay fever, my hay fever's been like this.
Oh,
see, the thing about it is, yeah, the mad thing is, yeah, it's for years I never had hay fever at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Didn't deal with it, yeah, and then like one day I will not forget it. If I remember correctly, I was speaking to my girl, and my girl goes, "You want to buy that?" Yeah, and say that you ain't got hay fever, like you can't just catch it whenever. I was like, I'm not gonna get hay fever, man. That next year and ever since on, I've had hay fever like this, bro, where I can't even breathe at night. Like the night time's even worse than the daytime, bro. But the daytime's bad enough.
Mad.
Do you know what I'm mad for?
Crazy.
Do you know what I think's I'm mad for? Like, how much, like, there's, like, because obviously it comes from pollen in the air, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, but you live in a heavily built up area. It's not like you live in the fucking countryside surrounded by fuck. That's weird.
I live near, like, I'm basically near fields, innit? And sometimes, like, when them fields, obviously, when the grass is cut and things like that, and obviously you've got the tree surgeons out doing their thing, you know what I mean? And a lot of the pollen sits on the trees, innit? So when they're there doing their thing, the tree surgeons doing their thing, it's just pushing it out into the air. You see what I'm saying? Twitch, how you doing? Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the conversation today. But yeah, it's like my hay fever was crazy, bro.
That's the thing with hay fever, though. Like, you might, for several years, you may not get it bad, and then 1 year, for some reason, it just gets bad for you, someone.
Bro, the maddest thing is, I didn't have it at all. Like, that's the thing, I didn't have it at all. Right, remember, I was always out in the summer because I played football and things like that when I was younger and shit. You know what I mean? So I was always at tournaments and going here, there, and everywhere. And I was fine, bro. You know what I mean? And then after I had that conversation, oh man, it's been like this, bro. I can't deal with the summer.
My thing's the opposite, yeah. When I was younger, I had eczema, and I had hay fever, and I had asthma.
Yeah.
But hay fever used to be the maddest one because it used to get to a point where my throat would swell up, my eyes would swell, and I couldn't even see properly.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what happened, but the eczema went, asthma went, and hay fever went.
So it's like more so the eczema, technically, if you have that at a young age, it tends to disappear by the time you hit like young adulthood going into adulthood anyway. You see
that was about that time, yeah.
Like with the hay fever, you're mad lucky, bruv. I wish it was the other way around for me.
And the asthma, bruv.
You know what I mean?
And the asthma used to be bare bad, but because I used to do bare running.
Yeah.
Like, I used to always have to have my asthma pump with me all the time, bro. It's mad, like, go out of stuff.
It's mad, bro. It's proper crazy, like. And the thing about it is, obviously, as you know, as everyone knows, the reason why I worry about my hay fever is because I worry about my breathing. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, with all my heart and that, you know what I mean, with the surgery that I've had and a little bit, obviously, with the heart attacks and stuff and my breathing and stuff, I worry a little bit. Like, so, you know what I mean? When I feel like, oh, I really can't breathe from my nose and it feels like my face is going to explode because I can't breathe. It feels like everything's compressed. Yeah,
Jake, like, you're way to kill my fun now. I can't take the piss out of it, like, because you've just told me that.
I'm sorry, bro. But listen, I will give you full permission to take the piss if you want to.
I don't want to now, man. I'm scared you're going to fucking die.
Hey, but Dotty, have you used vapor rub?
Yeah.
To kind of, that might help.
Does absolutely nothing. I've put vapor rub on me. I've had some of the biggest bowls around me in the world and smeared it. I'm talking absolutely smeared it around the bowl, put hot water in, steamed my face. You know what I mean? You know when they put the cover, you put the towel over your head, you know what I mean, over the bowl, you know what I mean, full of vapor rub, so it just literally clears you out. Does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like when I'm blocked up, when my hay fever starts, there's nothing that can stop it. It's venomous, mate. It must go gym during the winter, you know what I mean? Because during the winter, it don't bother me. I'm fine, you know what I mean? But once it hits like what, March, April, like once the beginning of sunshine happens, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap for me.
But Caden, did I hear right that you didn't used to suffer when you were younger?
No, I didn't suffer with it at all.
Yeah, I'm with you there because I'm one of them. There was always kids at school, right, that were always snotting, sneezing, eyes flared up.
Yeah.
It's typical kids that had hay fever year after year, and I was never one of them kids. And I'd be rolling around in cornfields on the grass. Like, I never got anything like that. Yeah. But I must admit, in the last 2 years, I do suffer with hay fever. So there's definitely something happening that's different. And I'm not a constant sufferer. It sounds like you're suffering. But there's days when my eyes will water and I can't breathe. And it'll just last for a day or two. And then I probably won't have it for another couple of weeks. But I never used to have it at all.
Wow, see, I'm envious of you also if you only had it, because as I said, once it hits like what the first week of March, that's it. It's a wrap for me. Absolute wrap for me. And
but it's completely new, right? You never used to get it years ago, so there's definitely like new strains of whatever.
Yeah, of course.
That are irritating you because it never used to affect me at all.
Fucking GM crops.
Say that again.
GM crops, not genetically modified.
Yeah, maybe.
you know what the main thing is, yeah? Because like this is something I don't know why I believe it anyway. Like, so sorry if I'm putting a tin hat on for a second, yeah. Like, but I believe that the sun that we see in the sky is not the original. Because when I was growing up, the sun was yellow. The sun's, to me, the sun's no, unless I'm going blind or I'm going colourblind or something, the sun don't look yellow to me anymore. It looks white, and like a bright white light. Like, you know,
the sun's yellow as
I don't know. It was
Like,
yellow
it's just
to me
really
today. And last
it's
night.
white as hell where I am.
Yeah, we spoke about this before, Dottie, and I said the same thing. Like, it looks like a weird kind of yellow.
Yeah, man, it's not the same deep sort of that deep yellow that you get. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that no more from when I was young.
It's definitely. Have you not heard about climate change, Kenny? God, what's wrong with you? Catch up.
No. I've heard that shit. I don't think I haven't. You know what I mean? I have.
No, but I mean, all these years of chemtrails, man, in the sky, it's not gonna change the sun. It's gonna change the perception of the sun by the time it gets to the Earth. So we're gonna see it slightly different. Not only that, some rays, some particles are gonna be slightly altered by the amount of chemicals they put up there. So it's gonna definitely look different from 20 years ago. 100%.
I think that's also something to consider. Is this you might think it's pollination that's affecting you, but you know, you don't know where else it's coming from. It's not necessarily from pollen.
Maybe not.
That's a great point, that. It's a great point, man. Just because it's got the same symptoms doesn't mean it's the same causal thing, you know? Like, it could easily be some fucked up shit that's in our environment.
Oh, no, I fully hear that. Like, that is something that I have thought about, innit? Like, I thought, what if it isn't actually hay fever? What if it is something different that don't know, and it only hits me really.
And I'm not a tinfoil hat person. I'm not, but I consider, well, why have I got away with 40 odd years without this shit? And now, you know, I do feel it, not severely, but
from not having it at all, to having it the way you have it,
so regularly, but not severely, but yeah.
No, I get you, man. I fully get it. Like,
Twitch, like, seriously, like, we love you. You're very welcome here. But if you're not a tinfoil hat person, you're in the wrong space.
No, I'm not, because someone's got to keep you lot in check.
Oh, wicked.
No, I've got. Listen, I believe enough of it, but I'm more level-headed. I'm not a nutcase.
So I feel. Listen, there's nothing. I feel that there's nothing wrong with being a nutcase. I don't know why, because I feel like some people.
I welcome it. I welcome it, but I stick to my own views. I won't be overpowered by other people's points of view. That's all.
Yes, no. That's as I just said. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? If you're like, right, this is what I'm thinking. This is where I'm standing, and I'm 10 toes on it. Like, then can't argue with that. Can't argue with that at all. Not in the slightest. So what I'm going to do, because I think this is one of the first times that you've actually been at the beginning of the space, Twitch, is I usually ask people what's been happening in their realm. What have they read? What have they been seeing, been listening to? What's been popping up that's of interest to them in your world? Like, you know, I mean, what's been happening, people?
It's probably not a good time to ask me, because I've just had a week off and I've had a beautiful time in the sunshine. Watching the sunsets, being on the beach, completely chilling out with my loved ones, with my daughter who's going through her exams. You know, it's been down south for me.
Good luck to them, obviously, with their exams.
Thank you.
You know what I mean, mate? I hope everything goes brilliantly for them.
I've had complete no social media for the last week, and I've fucking loved it.
God, you know what? Like, sometimes it's a good thing, and I'm sure that everyone could agree. Sometimes it's a good thing just to step away, man. Just clear
100%, because we're all humans. We all need to enjoy life.
Yeah, go and touch.
You know, but we all need to touch base as well and know the reality of what's going on in life, and that's why I've joined you tonight.
Yeah, no, and thank you for joining us tonight. It's actually, like, I appreciate it. I fully appreciate it. You know what I mean? But like, I fully hear what you're saying. Like what you're saying there, I call it touching grass. Like we need to step away, go outside, touch some grass. You know what I mean? Interact with some people. You know what I mean? And then maybe go back and after you've done that, and you feel better, then you can go back and do what you're doing, innit? You know what I mean? So no, wicked, man, wicked. Gaspanic, Joey, Jay, what's been happening?
Well, like I said in the group chat there, fucking thruck epidemic. I'm surrounded by irritating cunts all day. Honestly, people are really struggling to have adult conversations without fucking getting emotional, especially when I fucking bring their points crashing down. You know, like, you know what I'm like, man. I just question everything and I say shit and then they don't like it because I prove them wrong. And it's like, I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just asking appropriate questions and they're just losing their shit.
No, I fully hear it, bro. I fully hear it.
It's not that, it's fucking cunts trying to create drama, and I'm just like, oh, leave me the fuck alone, man.
No, I fully hear it, man. Straight up. And you're going to get that. I think you're going to get that in all walks of life, man. There's going to be some people that are just hard-headed, man. And when you try to give them the facts, because you're someone that you'll say what you're saying, but you're able to back up what you're saying, innit? You're able to back up your opinion, your thought, your view. You see what I'm saying? And some people just they can't appreciate that. They don't know what to do with that. They're like, oh no, they're giving me bare information. What am I going? And they want to start calling you names and shouting and trying to look you off, and it's stupid.
I feel like, do you know what it feels like? It feels like fucking people have moved away from like everyday religion, you know, the standard fucking Islam, Christianity and all that, and they've just found these new religions which they don't understand it's a religion. But what's going on is that people get some information and they turn it into a belief system. They don't pick up on it, they don't research, fuck all, like, and they have a thought in their head and they stick by it, and like, don't matter what you tell them, they're, oh no, you can't say that, that's it, I'm fucking angry at you because you've questioned my new religion. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah. No, I hear it, man. And again, as I said, it's definitely peak, man, when you know you can't have just a normal conversation when you can actually air your view, let them air their view, and then you can talk it out. It don't always happen when you try to talk to people, innit? It just don't always happen. You know what I mean? Joey, what's been happening in you lot's wrong, man?
Did you see that thing in Paris with the
because of PSG's win?
Yeah, because all the riots that happened up there. But it's mad.
They kicked the fuck off.
Like Paris, all the stuff that I've seen of Paris, it looks fucking shut down, bruv. Like they've written everything off out there. You know what is,
and the thing about it, well, to me anyway, from what I see whenever I see about France and that, I noticed that this sort of, how can I put it? This sort of like mega protest, like everything's got to be some sort of violent protest, some madness, fire in the streets. Like I've seen everything in France for quite a while now, isn't it?
Yeah, I noticed that as well, man. It's crazy.
It kicked off before the end of the game.
And can you imagine if they fucking lost?
No, but here's the thing: it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because this seems to be a standard thing in Paris now. I don't know about the rest of France, but it's like any event, with any excuse they've got to gather in numbers, and it just turns into a riot.
It's very much a culture out there now, isn't it? I wouldn't want to be out there.
And I feel like it kind of, well, to me, the beginning of that sort of way of living, basically, if you want to call it that, you know what I mean, in France, happened to me. I think it happened for me, when the Charlie Hebdo shootings happened. From there, to me, it's just gone off from there. It's just, it hasn't been, there's never been no middle ground. It's either been quiet or all hell's breaking.
No, it's very much, I think that really was the time in which it was the turning point for Paris, I think, definitely.
What, the Charlie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, since then it's just gone off the fucking rails, hasn't it?
Yes. Like, and I feel like it hasn't really stopped. There's moments of quietness because you'll hear about Macron mucking about with Smithers. Starmer, but we keep Smithers.
It's like everywhere, isn't
it? I mean? But other than that, whenever you hear anything about France, it's always a madness. It's always like on 100 over there.
Yeah.
Just remember, guys, that this is the product of liberalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it. Yeah, Joey, thoughts on that?
I already said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. You did. Because it was you that brought it up. Sorry, bro. Joey, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, the same as everybody else. I mean, if in Paris specifically, there's almost like a riot there every week, almost kind of.
Yeah.
Whether it's to do with political changes that they don't agree with, or whether it's a football match,
Yeah.
or anything that involves them to like respond physically and go to the streets and put fires on cars or buildings, any excuse to get out. Like it's like I think was it Twitch said there's like a culture, like a way of life for them. Like that's what they do. But in terms, what do you lot think? Do you think, I don't want to say it in this way, but do you think in some ways we can learn from them? Maybe if when people are upset about something or outraged.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what you're saying. We need that kind of uprising here, is what you're saying, to make things be seen.
Yeah, because like when you think about
I see what you're saying. I would rather it not have to come to that, but of course, at some point it's going to have to come to that if things don't change.
Because I thought the British with us lot, like, we're just very laid back when it comes to things we're upset about. We just don't do nothing.
Because what happens here is we have isolated incidents, like what happened, like the Leeds riots after what happened up there, and that happens sporadically around the country. But it's not enough to make people notice. I mean, it would have to be on a mass scale in London, that kind of thing. And of course, I don't advocate it, but I'm hoping things change before that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking that specifically. We've got to be violent or anything, but like at least do stuff that disrupts the kind of economies to make the government
bigger protests are definitely needed, like the way the French do it, but obviously not like the exact way the French do it, because they seem to be unhinged as fuck. Like British people just don't want to go out and burn their own shit down. French are fucking strange. But here's the thing, you know how I'm always talking about like the Bank of England's fucked, the City of London's fucked, right? So see, France is in exactly the same position, because their economy's been propped up for years by the way they've been raping the fucking sub-Saharan countries. Like the ones like they've basically fucking been like.
Don't forget the African countries before they started getting kicked out as well.
Yeah, it's like Traore's told France to fuck off, and like so.
France, America, he told France, America, and Britain, go on, fuck off out my country, go on.
Yeah, but like so the French economy's been getting propped up by these countries for a long time, but they're no longer getting that. So their economy's it's getting screwed, right? But my opinion, and it's just my opinion, but I think that like Britain and France, the governments know that the economy's going to take a fucking heavy dive at some point. So they're creating the conditions in their countries that this kind of unrest will happen. And then when the economies fail, the government can say, "Oh, you people did it to yourself by all this trouble."
Yeah, no, I hear that. I definitely hear that.
So you're saying a chaos is needed for the government to make an excuse for other stuff, right?
Aye, the stuff that they've fucked up, like they need the excuse, like, and then like so they bring us into this state of divisiveness, where it's everyone's fucking hating on everyone else, and it's brewing, and once it pops, it'll be funny how the economy goes at the same time. Then they blame us, then they come out with their fucking bans, and then they come out with their digital ID and their fucking drones and shit and tell us, in the name of safety, we need to do this shit.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, yeah? Like, and just going on to, just your question, yeah, Joey, like, I think I've said many times in this space that I feel like they won't listen until something like that happens. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's going to be no listening, no matter what. There'll be no real listening until major madness is going on, and they're like, right, we're going to need to sit down with Cobra and everyone else, and we're going to have a conversation. Yeah, like, but I personally don't think we need to get to that if we was to go, you know what, we're not paying your taxes. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. And actually not do it. Everyone just actually goes, no, not doing it. And actually goes, right, boom, and stops. I believe they will actually sit down and have a conversation quicker than if we're violent. Because they lose out on money.
I absolutely agree with you. The problem is arranging that kind of movement.
Yeah, that is I think that is more than likely the most fundamental.
Yeah, it's so hard to do. And I actually think, to be perfectly honest, the peak of anger has passed, in my opinion. The peak of anger was a year ago.
Yeah.
And now I feel like people are simmering again. So if anything, I think we're a long way off wanting to riot and all the rest of it. It seems like it goes in peaks and troughs.
Yeah. No, just before I come over to you, Joey, I just want to ask you a question quickly, Trix. When you said that they were simmering, are they simmering more just simmering the anger, or is it more simmering towards that acceptance again? As if to say, like, if they stay,
it's hard to say, because I know personally I've still got a lot of anger. It angers me every day. The life that I'm having to live and the life that my daughter is doomed to have, that angers me. However, there has to be a certain acceptance, because you have to go out and get on with life to a point. Do you know what I mean? And unless, but 100%, like if there was a massive movement, I'd 100% jump on that. But it's getting that. I don't see how that kind of movement is going to get the momentum to the capacity it needs to be to make a difference.
See, where this is going to sound this might even sound a bit far-fetched. I kind of believe as well also in the power of one. So there could be just one person who goes, do you know what, I've had enough. And what they say, whether it's on the internet, whether they go out on the street, sandbox or stand on a box and say it, no matter how they put it out, people actually stop and go, hold on.
Yeah.
There's actually talking sense there, whether it be a man or woman.
I mean, that's certainly been happening for a long, long time now. And I think to a point, there's been a lot of these protests, and it's made a difference in so many ways, but not in a way to actually make a difference to people's lives. Ultimately, we need these fuckers out of government, don't we?
No, I fully hear, and like I get what you mean by like sort of having that something that can actually move the needle and actually make something happen. You see what I was saying? And so, no, I fully get what you're saying, and I fully agree with what you're saying as well, man. Thanks.
I'm just a realist, It's not. I'm not. I try not to be pessimistic, and I'm behind all of these things that happen, and I'm batting for the right fucking team. But at the end of the day, I'm also trying to like nurture a child into employment now over the next coming months, and I dread that for her. And that makes me fucking angry with the state that the fucking the world's in, because it is all over the news this week, isn't it? There's never been so many teens to 25-year-olds out of work, and they can't get work. Well, why the fuck can't get? Why do you fucking think they can't get work? It's not fucking rocket science, is it?
Well, Twitch, I seen a stat today and it was saying that for every one job that a British young person gets, 27 immigrants, young immigrants, then that's fucking batshit crazy. Basically, they're giving every single job to non people.
Yeah. And that's because they've got to tick those fucking boxes. It's not even like they're paying them less, because there's laws against paying them less. So why the fuck are we giving on? Like they say, do you think the jobs should go to British-born people first? Yes, 100%. And if the jobs ain't there for the fuckers that are coming in, why are you allowing them in? It really is as simple as that.
Yeah. No. Make you right there.
You know, you can't go into Australia unless you've got a skill that they need. You can't just swan in there and start working.
Yeah, you need a trade. You need for Australia. You actually need you need to be able to have
needed.
like a skill. Yeah, you need a skill that can actually
Better
very costly for you to be able
Of
to get into that
course.
country.
And that's how we should be. It's not rocket science. And if we've got surplus jobs and we've got migrants coming in, of course, let's get them working. We want them to pay fucking taxes, but not these multiple of thousands of illegals coming in. You know, it's not rocket science. The fact of the matter is they know it's not rocket science, but they refuse to do fuck all about it.
I saw this, because it's deliberate by them, but like, so I saw this thing yesterday. It's about the city of Westminster. So that one council area, like city of Westminster, it has 26,000 social houses. Right, out of that, 16,000 of them are non-British.
Wow.
Right, and out of those 16,000, only 44% of them are in employment.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And that's the thing.
Wow.
And that's another thing. I don't think social housing should ever go to people that have not paid into the system. Like, it shouldn't be a given unless you've got extreme circumstances. For a start, the basic level should be that you're born and bred here. That to me is a fucking basic. And then it should be on a, you've paid into the system and now you're in a situation where you need social housing. So it should be a point system. I don't understand the way they work it at all. There's no I know people in council houses and in brand new builds with subsidised fucking rentals, and I look at them like, what the fuck? Like, there's nothing stopping you going for work. Why shouldn't I be in that?
Yeah.
You know, why are you in that and I'm paying double?
That's crazy.
You know?
Right, so here's another thing I learned. I'm going to keep giving you information that's going to piss you off. Right, so I found out that there's actually the son of an African king has social housing. It was social housing, but because of the right to buy, he bought the house and he got £110,000 discount off a property in London. Son of an African fucking king. There is also this again. I can't remember names here, right? But there's also a woman who she's married to someone, and I wish I could remember the name in the country, but she's married to someone that's the leader of an African country, an elected president, right? Okay. And she actually lives with him in the palace. However, she has a house in London where her kids are getting brought up.
Fucking hell.
Like a fucking social housing, you know, and this is someone that lives in a palace because her husband runs a country, and yet we're still giving fucking social housing. Now, I've no issue at all with any of these people buying a property or renting a private property, but social housing, come on, what the fuck?
It's like the whole benefit system. It's there. Ultimately, it should be there in the short term for those that fucking need it, and that seems to have been lost many years ago. Like, it's gone, and then they wonder why they're so in debt. All these PIP claims. I mean, you ain't have to cry mental health now when you fucking get PIP. You know, it's absolute fucking madness.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear it. Man. Joey, you still got thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think like what Twitch said and Gaspanic and everybody else. I think I think the pinnacle of it when people really do get angry is when the economy is, well, the economy already is, but like give it more sooner, it's gonna go to tits. Do you get me? And then people are just gonna go mental. And I think the economy is the strongest factor in this. I mean, I know the people have been angry about other things, whether that's like mass migration, whether it's legal or illegal, and integration issues, but I think the economy is going to be the biggest factor for the reasons like Twitch said, due to many opportunities and jobs that have gone to people that have not paid into the system, as well as the rising welfare bill that we have in this country, where they're not the government is not helping people transition into work. They're rather just keep filling the welfare bill. And yeah, I think that's like one of the strongest factors that's gonna cause people to go to immediate uproar. And I feel like our city is gonna probably become like, you know, Gotham City and Batman. I think it's gonna become something like that one day. You know what I mean? And that's a bad way of seeing it.
Run the streets is lawless. Like,
that's how I see it.
Lawless,
it's going to become like Paris.
Mad.
Riots every week. Mad. Crazy, man.
But what? Can I say one more thing? Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
But you know what I want to ask everybody as well.
Yeah.
Don't you lot think as well? It's not just the immigrant stuff, but don't you think the governments, our successive governments, Conservative and Labour, they've also been given money offshore so that like other countries can build stuff?
Like aid. We're talking like through aid and things.
No. You know, like you know, they just like they'll set up businesses offshore so that like the people here can't like make anything homegrown, no manufacturing. And we've been effed up that way through many years. You think that's also been the factor where that money that could have been made here through the people, where they could have been
somewhere else, and it just hinders us.
Yeah, like for example, you know what Twitch said about like maybe her daughter or like young people going into employment. Imagine that you like say let's just say for example you couldn't get like a really good job, but there is a job there for you, like an entry level where you can work in a factory or somewhere where you're manufacturing stuff. We don't have any of that. So like some of the young people, like if there was no offshore stuff that these businesses were doing it to make a big profit, there could have been like maybe factories there where young people can go to work. When you can't do this, you go there. You know what I'm saying? So you think it could do that as well?
They're kind of two different subjects, and they are linked. But it's like, I mean, that's the deindustrialization of the country that's fucked us. But see all these tax exile places like fucking is it Isle of Man or the Isle of Wight? I always get the two of them mixed up. One of them's a fucking like tax haven. They're like the Cayman Islands. All of this shit. Like this is what keeps the city of London churning, because it's all just a giant tax dodge and fucking. And we all get fucked over. They keep doing their dodgy deals. They keep not paying tax. They keep and this whole system. And to be fair, this is what Donald Trump's destroying right now. So I don't know how bad it's going to hit fucking London, like in England. Like thing is, I think this could be the thing that ends Great Britain. I think the whole country's going to get balkanised, and not through choice, just through survival.
Yeah. Okay, no. Bad. Jay, any other thoughts before I move on to a topic?
Guys, we on to the next.
All right, let's move on. All right, cool. So what I've got in front of me here is this. So NATO's military chief has urged Britain and other allies to speed up the delivery of their defence pledges. Admiral Giuseppe Cavo-Dragone, NATO's military committee chair, and said he is frustrated by the UK and its allies' commitments to spend on defence, which he said do not stand if there is no equipment to show for it. He has also added that he is unsatisfied with the empty defence promises. Smithers, Prime Minister, is believed to be weighing up tax hikes to fund the long-delayed Defence Investment Plan, which is DIP, in brackets it says there, which is estimated to be provided between 15 billion and 80 billion of funding. The Prime Minister's proposals will be outlined in the DIP, in the plan, to meet his pledge to spend 3.5% of GDP on core defence by 2035, a promise made at The Hague last year after pressure from Donald Trump to increase contributions to NATO's collective defence. The DIP will outline how Starmer plans to meet his 3.5% of GDP defence spending target he pledged to hit by 2035. He promised the boost at The Hague last year after Trump pressured allies to increase their NATO defence contributions. Defence Secretary John Healey last month said defence investment was Starmer's highest priority as officials await this plan. 1 second. Speaking at the Shangri-La Defence Summit in Singapore, where international officials and military chiefs meet to discuss issues, the chair said the UK and other members of the alliance need to speed up defence mechanisms. With percentages, with numbers, or even with dollars or euros, you don't deter anybody. You deter someone with capabilities, which is the real delivery of hardware, Dragoni said. He added that NATO needs to get the capabilities faster and faster because time is against us, and that in the procurement we are late. Magnus Tiskana, the Estonian foreign minister, also speaking, agreed with Dragoni's concerns. The UK needs to, of course, increase defence spending. I think that unfortunately it won't be the last drone we will see in a NATO territory. So what's the thoughts on this, people? They're trying to speed up UK. Where's he getting the money from? Where's he getting it?
See the bullshit that the left always do, right? They always go, let's increase taxes to pay for shit. And there's always a point, and they passed this point long ago. I even think it was the Tories that passed this point. Is that like the more you tax, at some point it gets to where it's actually worse for the it's bad for the economy. Like, so if there's a thing you can do where like certain taxes, if you reduce them, it then increases productivity, and overall they end up with more tax because like there's more shit happening. And so this thing that they're doing now, or like we're going to, what tax are they going to increase next? Like what's left?
For real.
I mean, what is left then? But to me, like, there's a lot of this shit you hear where like, whether it's Starmer or any other one, they'll talk about, oh, we're going to invest like fucking $6 billion in this, that, and the next thing. But really, when you look into it, it's like, it's put into like something 5 years later, so that the current government doesn't actually need to pay for it. They just announce it and then say, oh, it's going to happen further down the line. But I've seen something today about fucking America, Australia and Britain have just done this fucking joint agreement to build fucking underwater drones and some other crazy shit. And obviously we spoke the other week about the thing going on with Poland and that other stuff where it was like, right, there's going to be fucking other couple of billion. Remember the 4 million thing that was going to businesses? And then, like, so all these things are getting announced, but to me, I think, like, this rhetoric coming from the NATO guy is just, it's like the thing to say, oh, yous must do this, we're time limited on this, and then that's basically telling, it's because it's a message to the public, because they don't need to tell fucking this shit publicly. Like, they could just say it to prime ministers and shit, but they don't, they say it publicly. And to me, this is the thing that tells the public, oh, there is a time limit, and if you guys can't do it, then this will probably break up NATO, and all the countries that are expected to do it, their economies are so bad that they'll never be able to meet these targets. And then that's everybody going, oh no, we understand why NATO failed, because nobody could afford that shit.
Fucking hell. That'd be bad, isn't it? That's crazy still. Yeah, any other thoughts for anyone? Twitch? Jay? Joey?
Have you guys seen what happened in Russia recently? Like fucking Ukraine bombed like using drones. They bombed a girls' school, and this is
I heard about that.
And this is why Russia basically phoned America and says, get your people the fuck out of there because we're going to go to fucking town. Like,
and they did retaliate in some form, and now NATO are a bit worried because they have to sit down and have a conversation because part of Russia's drone attack hit Romania.
Well, see, I don't believe that either because Romania is too far away. Like, man, how the fuck can Russia like hit Romania? You know, it's I see that as a false flag. Like, to try and stir up trouble.
Try and kickstart off, yeah?
Yeah, it was probably fucking Ukraine that did it. Like, you know, but the Russians basically they said because of that attack in that school, Russia said, listen, whoever makes these drones, we're seeing them as a legitimate target now. And they pointed straight to Germany and England and said, "We know you make these fucking drones, so you're a legitimate target." And like, but to me, it's one of these things. It's like I just wish fucking Russia would hurry up and just deal with the Ukraine thing, like be done with it, and just fucking, because I think not NATO, because fucking I don't think Donald Trump gives a fuck, but like Europe, I think Europe will basically back the fuck down because they don't have the strength to take Russia on. So when Russia takes Ukraine, like that'll be that over, and then our government and European governments need to stop the whole Russia bullshit.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Joey, what we saying, bro? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, going back to what we've been discussing and just bringing in something slightly different, but it's still to do with the same topic.
Yeah.
Now, you know how obviously we've said before, and when we spoke about this in the last space, but one thing I want to mention is what you said one time, Adoy, when you said, as an example, there's going to be one of them work coaches at a job centre, and they're going to tell the person, that the young person, you know that person there, and then dressed in the military uniform.
Yeah.
Go have a chat to them.
Yeah, go and chat to them. You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't have to go and chat to them, but if you don't, then you ain't going to get no benefits. So why not go and chat to them and maybe get a job in the armed forces? You know what I mean? Firstly, obviously, you know, as you know, bruv, that's obviously that they're trying to say that will go on to employment numbers. You know what I mean? But we also know that we're very, very light in troops.
Yeah, I think personally that in the next year or so, or several years now, maybe even sooner, bruv, I think the next set of jobs in specific industries that's going to rise is going to be the military jobs. They're going to be
military jobs.
They will. They're definitely. That's what's going to
happen. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's going to be bad for everyone, because I personally don't think it will be bad for everyone. You know what I mean? It won't be. I think it can be a good thing for some people. You know what I mean? It can really like pin them down discipline wise, and they can focus on what they need to do and learn new things, meet new people. You know what I mean? But there's another side to that. You see what I'm saying? And that other side could be a bit worrying.
Of course, yeah. And
here's an important point as well, Joey. The government came out, this was about a year, 18 months ago. The government came out and they said openly, we will not be hiring any immigrants to the British Army.
Yeah. I did see something being said along them lines still.
So, like, obviously, like, I think, and again, I'm just speculating here, but like I said earlier about how 27 immigrants to one British-born young person is getting jobs now. So, is this the whole thing to strong-arm the British youth into joining up in the military? Then, basically, any shit happens, British people are going and risking their lives and probably, like, well, not probably, but maybe dying. And then the young generation that's in this country are immigrants, and they make up the next generation of people.
It could go that way. Like, there is a possibility that could be happening. You know what I mean? We all know there's different possibilities out there, and that could be one of them still. Yeah, I mean, crazy still. Twitch, any thoughts?
I'm sorry, I just had to nip off.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. So I think I've missed what you were saying. I just had to pop away.
Basically, just very quickly for you, basically what it is NATO are now like pushing, or pressing, maybe, if that's a better word, from the UK, other allies as well, but it seems like they've kind of put all their eggs in the UK basket when it comes to talking to the public and talking to cameras about their defence spending. You know what I mean? And they're urging them to hurry up and actually put their pledges into NATO. You know what I mean? They're frustrated, you know what I mean, and unsatisfied with the speed of the way things are going along. You know what I mean? He needs to hurry up and spend that 3.5% of GDP on defence.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And what Starmer at the moment is doing is weighing up tax hikes to actually get that.
Well, I to be honest, I wouldn't be in a rush to be doing anything at the moment. I personally would like nothing to be happening right now until we see what's happening with Starmer.
Well, so you think everything should just be put on pause right now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, 100%.
But the only thing with that is even though we'll go on pause, no one else will.
Yeah, I think the problem is Starmer's likely to just make some shit decision one way or another regardless, and I don't think it's going to be in our best interest. I think everything that Starmer's done to date has been to royally fuck this country over, and I think if he knows he's on the way out, he's going to continue to do that. That is my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the way I see it.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Like, so, and again, that could be an idea. As I said, my only thing with the fact of putting it on pause is that no one else will be on pause. Everyone will try and keep it moving still, and they'll just say, "Yeah, catch up when you can." What if Britain can't catch up by then?
Well, I think we're on the back foot regardless. I think we look like a bunch of twats. Royally, you know, with all of our allies at the moment because of that dickhead. I don't think we're going to do ourselves a great deal of danger just holding back a bit more. I'd be more concerned about making the wrong decision and doing the wrong thing under him than to just pause it, to be honest.
Right, well, check this opinion. Right, fucking the British establishment is all on the same page. Uniparty, globalisation, all of that bullshit, right? So Keir Starmer's just the front man for that. So, like, whether he's there or not, the same decision will get made because it's the same fucking committees and all this that are making fucking decisions, right? So I don't think it's really Keir Starmer that's making this decision. I think any decisions are already made, right? And if they're not already made, even if they're not already made, it's still the same people that will be informing the Prime Minister to make a certain decision. It won't be Keir Starmer or Andy Burnham, or they'll basically be told, this is what we're going to do, and he's just the front guy that announces it. But what I also think is that before Keir Starmer goes, like, because he knows he's gone, and I think the whole uniparty establishment shit, I think they'll use Keir Starmer to announce certain things before he goes, so he gets the blame of it, and then any new person, like, they're not getting the blame for something that Starmer announces.
He's going to be the saviour.
Yeah. Well, not even the saviour, just the next person won't get the blame of what Starmer did, but they won't change what Starmer did.
I certainly can't see him being the saviour of anything, can you?
No, they won't be the saviour, that's my point. It's like they won't be the saviour, but what they'll do is they'll do...
rather than the saviour. It'll be more of a clean slate.
Yeah, and they'll before Starmer goes, they'll try and push through or announce a bunch of shit that is pure shit and nobody likes, but then the next person can come in and say, that wasn't my decision, that was the previous person's, and I've got this different bullshit, and really, but they won't change what Starmer's done, they'll just say it wasn't them that done it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You know,
Even to be, when you look at the Conservative Party's policies for 14 years, and then Labour's one, it's not really been that much different to each other. They've more or less done the same stuff.
Tweak it, literally just
tweaking. It's the same stuff they've done, same policies. There's no difference between them.
Yeah, it's mad. It's crazy, man. Jay, what's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think on the side of getting people from the employment center, after reading the stats the other day of, like, you know, you get 24 grand a year, you get skills, you get this, you get that. I think it would be quite easy to convince people on benefits who are making a little flipping 12 grand a year, 13 grand a year that, look, you join them, you can carry on doing what you're doing now, we can pay you, but you join them, man, you're going to be getting double your money and you're going to be getting this and this and this as well. So I don't think it'll be too hard to convert people, realistically. And it's based on the fact of, I suppose, on sales. Like, when you make something so bad, whatever comes up looks better and you'll move over to that. So, if any product, you will just make it too expensive for people to buy, and people will just buy the cheaper product. So I think it's going to be not too difficult to get people involved. that thing with the migrants, though, that was quite shocking that they're not getting migrants into the British Army. Not that I think it would be a good thing, but it blatantly goes to show their agenda. And I fully agree with Gaspanic on what they're trying to do is replace the generation, because if all the British are out of war and then you only got the migrants or majority migrants in the country running stuff, then that next generation will be the ones that's running the country, or running at least the foundations of the country. I think that's very
Abdul with his fucking 3 wives and they're all on benefits, and fucking Abdul's fucking them all and making them all pregnant repeatedly, and while fucking like the rest of us are struggling, we can't afford to have kids, and even if we could afford it, it don't matter because we're on the front line. Fucking yeah, I see that shit clear as day.
Mate,
that's mad. The other thing is, I suppose, you know, when Trump came into office, he was telling NATO, look, every man needs to get their defense spending up to 3.5%. And, you know, countries, I suppose they said, yeah, okay, cool. But obviously none of the countries have got to that 3.5%. And UK is struggling way behind, isn't it? Like their pledges. So, I mean, for me, anything I see is this, yeah. Whenever they announce that, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I always just feel it's them saying, oh, we run out of money, we need some more money, so we're going to take your money through taxes. That's it. That's all I ever see. So any kind of scheme or solution in brackets, in thingy bobs, in quote marks, that they say that they've got, I just think it's like a scam, money scam. So realistically, yeah, there isn't no way out of it. And because we got this government until 29, well, my prediction's still there. You get me, of Starmer being there till 29.
And he will be. You know, he will be. And we all know the very simple solution to a lot of our money woes, and it really is that simple, is to deport the illegals. Yeah. It's multi-millions that they're fucking costing us. It really is that simple. I really don't understand why we can't get a grasp on it.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely the money side of it, but the other side that I've been talking about, off space for people, is that societies need structure, and when there isn't structure, you're going to get this. People are going to be fighting amongst each other, communities, victim groups, and all the rest of it. Now, just even deporting the illegal migrants, even if it doesn't save us bare money, what it does, it starts to put structure back into the country. So right? people in the country understand that, okay, cool, there's some type of organisation or structure being done. These are the first people to go out, and this is the first thing they're looking at. That's good. But if there's nothing done,
see, even before the structure happens, like, see if a country has a shared goal and a shared belief, then we create our own structures. Like, and see what you said there, Twitch, about how you don't understand why they can't get a grip on it, because they're not trying to get a grip on it. They want the fucking mass migration.
Yeah,
they're not trying.
And this is where the frustration and anger comes from the general public, because we wake up every morning, we go and work our arse off for pittance, and there's all of these multiple fucking millions of people literally getting everything you're working your arse off for free, and that grinds on you. It fucking grinds on you. And I know my daughter is not going to be able to get a fucking job. Right? She's going to struggle to get a fucking job, and that is going to piss me off, because she is bright, she's intelligent, and I know people are struggling to get a job. It's fucking bang out of order. I know I struggled to get my last job like never before in my life. You know, I've seen things change in the last 5 years, and it's just not on for the people that are fucking crutching this. You know, we are the ones fucking paying into this country, and we are the ones suffering.
I definitely hear that. Any other thoughts, Pete, before I move on to the next topic? No, we good?
Go for it. Say, go for it. Go for it.
All right, we'll move on to the next topic. We're just quickly moving. We've already mentioned the man's name already, so like I'll say this is more of a quick fire thoughts. I'll put this as in it, so we can get through this and get into the next one. But what I've got here is this, right? Donald Trump is trying to toughen the terms of a draft peace agreement with Iran and has sent back revised proposals to Tehran. The US president has asked envoys to strengthen provisions on how to deal with Iran's nuclear material, sources told Newsite Axios. Mr. Trump reportedly also wants to amend the wording on the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, which one US official claimed on Sunday that was under American control. He also was concerned about parts of the potential deal that would unfreeze Iranian funds. Washington and Tehran were said to be close to a deal late last week that would extend the current ceasefire for 60 days and launch talks on the future of Iran's nuclear program and enriched uranium stocks. The framework could allow unrestricted passage through the Strait of Hormuz and give Iran 30 days to remove mines from the waterway. J.D. Vance, the US vice president, said on Thursday that the two sides were going back and forth on a couple of language points, which included question of enrichment. We are not there yet, but we are very close and we are going to keep working on it, is what he said. Okay, give me 1 second. The draft framework reportedly includes a commitment from Iran not to pursue a nuclear weapon, but no specific concessions beyond that. The fate of Iran's near weapons-grade enriched uranium stockpile would then be at the top of the agenda for a second stage of talks. Mr. Trump said on Friday that Iran's nuclear dust would be destroyed, but Tehran rejected those comments, saying there had been no negotiations on the nuclear issue. So what's your thoughts on this? Because we already know that this is kind of like mucking up the economy in a number of different countries, this particular conflict that's going on, because I still don't call it a war yet.
Right, so other things have been happening, right, and it's like, I'm going to try and get this to the main point that does lead to Iran, right, but, so, in the last few days, America just announced some fucking thing, and I don't know if it's been made in law yet, but there's definitely in writing, and Americans are losing their shit over it, because they're getting confused, but it basically says that the IDF and America are joining forces militarily, right, but what it really is that America's taking control of Israel's army, right? I've spoken to you about this before, about how I think that basically Israel's going to be demilitarized and then run by other countries, right? And to me...
That why Israel's going so hard on this sort of attacking Lebanon and things like that? Is that why they're going as mad as they are?
Yeah, man, they're basically throwing out Hail Marys right now, because they're at the... And it's not Israel, really, it's the Zionists. They're the ones that are throwing out the Hail Marys, and because they're in control of the government, obviously, right? But they're the ones that are trying to do all this fucking crazy shit right now before it comes to an end. But really, what's going to happen is that America's basically getting a return on its investment. All the money that they've flung into Israel, they're now basically calling it out and just saying, right, your army belongs to us, right? And that, right? So that now that they've done that, this is one of the levers of negotiation with Iran, to basically say, right, Iran, look, Israel is not going to be a fucking problem. And that gets Iran round the table.
No, I hear that. And one thing I did want to mention quickly, though, when I was reading that article, is one thing I did notice is that even though he wants to end this thing, he don't want to give Iran back their money, though, does he?
Well, it's Donald Trump. Of course, he doesn't want to give them money, but I think that. See, it's their
funds.
Yeah, but
I'm freezing their own money, innit? And he's like, no, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, I mean, they probably will do it as long as Iran agrees to do all the fucking shit, like getting rid of.
The main thing is the nuclear thing. I think the nuclear is the main thing for Trump, innit?
Because even though it's probably a lot of money that's locked down, like, I don't know, fucking how many $100 billion or whatever it is, I mean, it's a lot of money, right? But in the grand scheme of, like, an opened up Iran economy, that money's nothing in comparison, you know? Yeah. Like, so I don't really see that as a big deal, like, because once Iran does open up, that whole region will be fucking booming. as long as they can all kind of get on half decent. But that also means that Israel just shuts the fuck up. I mean, I don't think Israel's actually going to be a nation state for much longer. I actually think it's done.
You have said that.
There's already a bunch of Jews like in Ukraine. Like there's fucking, like, if you're not a Jew, you can't get past certain checkpoints and shit. Like they've been setting up in Ukraine for quite some time. There's also like 300,000 of them moved to Argentina. Like, I think Israel's done.
So what's going to happen? What's going to happen if they're not a nation state? What does it become, the land?
It'll probably be, well, we see, I mean, like, again, like, I always thought that it's going to be controlled by, like, Saudi Arabia and Turkey, but it might even just be the fact that the Jews just move the fuck out. And see right now, there's like 40,000 Jews that live in Iran, and then they're all right in Iran. You know, Iran doesn't fucking hassle them. They behave themselves, and it's fine. But that's kind of I know this is going to be a bit fucking controversial, but that's kind of what the Jews need. They need other people to be in charge, because when they're in charge of anything, they're bad bastards. You know, they do fucking horrible things in that, and then so, like, the Jews in Iran, fucking, they get on fine. So if Israel even if it remains a state, it's not going to have any of the fucking power that it's got right now. It's like, they'll maybe take that power and like, I know, set up in Patagonia or whatever. Who fucking cares, to be honest? But like, I do think Israel's done, and I think that's why Iran's coming to the table on this deal. And obviously, Iran being Iran, it's like Gold always says, they can just sit and wait it out. Like, but what are they waiting for? They're basically waiting to get what suits them. And what will suit them is being told, like, we're basically demilitarizing Israel.
Yeah, no, I hear that. You know,
I'm just gonna, sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna just say I need to pop off. So lovely speaking to you guys, and
no,
if you're still on, I'll pop on in a bit. But if not,
thank you so much.
Alright.
Appreciate you being on today.
have a great night.
So take care,
All right, good night. Night.
See you later. Good night. Yeah, like yeah. Any I hear what you're saying, Gaspanic. Just to end there still. Joey, Jay, any thoughts, peeps?
Yeah, do you think Twitch is a Jew and you got offended?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I got something to say actually.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting though, because I mean, I know I've had a few back and forths with Gaspanic and even on another space, but I mean, for me, like, I still fail to see a dissolved Jewish state. I still think they're going to remain there, because, like, when you think about it in terms of AI technology and advancement in technology in general, like, Israel are like big on innovation and that. Do you know what I mean? And they even
they haven't got a big deal with all like Google.
And they even got a lot of dual nationals who are in big positions. Do you know what I mean? So, and not just that as well. Like, to put my tinfoil hat on as well. I mean, another thing as well is that, I mean, I've seen quite a few videos. I think I may have even showed Jay a few videos, and there's also this whole thing about the occults in it. And I feel like if we're not talking biblically, even like occults, like Israel's got a lot of symbolism behind it, like in terms of like the elite stuff. I don't think they will be.
Well, we're talking symbolism, bruv. Look at their flag. Their flag alone.
Do you know what I mean? So Israel, like, outside of Judaism or Christianity, like, we're talking about occult practices and that, like, and stuff. Like, I feel like that place is important, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you would just leave that place like this. That state is going to have extreme importance. Do you know what I mean? For many, many years to come, till something happens big somewhere in the world. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't think they're just going to be out of the picture like that. Do you know what I mean?
No, you're right. But so try this one then, right? So, like, the Jews are known for being pretty damn nomadic. You know, they've been a lot of places in the world, right? And like I said, there's already stuff happening in Argentina, like stuff happening in Ukraine. How about the thought that, like, at the end of this shit, that basically fucking a huge chunk of that fucking region is just kind of cordoned off as some kind of like Abrahamic religious site?
Yeah, that's a sick point you made. Yeah, like even that's yeah. No, I can believe that. Yeah, that'll be probably interesting to see how that unfolds.
That thought just came in my head right there, man. I'm giving myself a pat on the back for it.
You put your tinfoil hat on twice.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
All right, then cool. One question I will ask then is if you think that obviously they're still gonna have like a definite level of importance and they're not gonna be basically dissolved as that state, right? Do you think that they're important in that way instead of it being that they dissolve as a nation? Like, don't you think their importance might dip? Like, they won't be as important, maybe. Even though they've got the AI thing, they might not be as important in everything else.
In what regards? With everything?
Politics and thinking, obviously, like relations with world leaders and things like that. Maybe people just don't they just stop listening to the man anymore. They just think, you know what, you might just be a Nasser in a powerful chair, and he's like, let's just leave you alone in it.
No, but have you not been seeing the news? What's happened? Israel has expanded into Lebanon and they've taken over an old.
There is. I did see something like that. I think there is a particular thing. They've actually raised an Israeli flag.
They took over an old Crusade castle, yeah, and they're literally expanding into Lebanon. So like that whole state might get a bit larger. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I don't think I don't think we're going to see the end of Israel. That they're doing things.
They're still big players in the game, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just think they're just all this thing about dissolved nation and nomadic people always been in exile. I don't think that's even in existence anymore. I think they're there to play the game. You know what I mean? Like, they're just big players. Like, I can never see it.
Well,
I hear your point, right? But I honestly believe that the fucking Jews, the Israelis, are scapegoats to an American plan. They always have been,
yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening right now. Like, I mean, see when you look at Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia recently, like the new fucking crown prince guy, he's been reforming Islam in Saudi Arabia, right? Now, you look at Iran, this shit's going on there where it's like they're trying to bring them into like a bit more international level, right? See the places that have been fucked up, like Syria. Do you know that Syria is getting rebuilt at a fucking alarming rate? I think their GDP increased by 35% in the last year. 35%. And again, they're coming from a poor starting point because there's been at war for a long time. But Syria's getting rebuilt. Right? Now Palestine's been demolished. Fucking Lebanon's getting a hard hit. Right? There's certain things in Iran have been hit. But to me, this is all part of this is the demolition phase. And then when America pulls out, Israel's fucking, whatever happens to them, like that whole region is going to get rebuilt. And when the Ukraine thing's finished, like that Soviet era Ukraine, that's going to get rebuilt. The contracts have already been signed for that shit. Like, you know, and I just think fucking there's like a bigger, grander plan that's going on, and Israel's not going to be the power broker that it once was. Because they're not required by America anymore. They're just not required.
I hear it. I definitely hear it. Jay, thoughts, bro?
Donald Trump basically trying to renegotiate with Iran, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit, mate. All for show and that.
What do you still reckon there's a possibility of there's gonna be some sort of pyong troops on the belt?
Well, from my understanding, Trump doesn't want to lose anyone, as in soldiers, and Trump doesn't really want the war to end as such. He just wants it, I suppose, to find a calm, settling situation. I mean, his whole thing is really against China, isn't it? Like, and this is this part of the plan. I mean, there's a plug in it. He can put the plug back on and duck out, and whatever happens.
Yes.
But I just think like more time, a lot of stuff that we're seeing is the showman stuff. I think there's other moves that are being made that if you look, you probably can see them. Not that I can stop them, but they're so basically covered by these obvious, dumb, chaotic moves that he's making in front, innit? So I don't see really any kind of good solution for Trump or for Iran. See, it might be a solution that happens.
All right. No, I hear that. So, all right, I got a question for the floor, yeah, then. So, with Trump obviously doing this thing now, even though he's trying to toughen these terms, he's still trying to send terms over to Iran, right? Is he looking at other possible targets as more important now than Iran or Ukraine, Russia? Is maybe, for example, is Cuba more important than them other two things? Let's sort that out. So they're on pause and everything's kind of at a standstill. Let me go deal with Cuba. Let me go deal with Mexico if Mexico is the next on the list. You know what I mean? Then I can go back and sort out one of those. Then I can go back and do something else, and I can go back and sort out the rest. Like, is that maybe a plan that he could be like trying to execute right now? Maybe.
You took the words out of my mouth because I was just about to raise that before you asked the question. Is that like, I mean, we talked about this the other day that Cuba's on the fucking radar. They've already started building up a presence.
Mobilizing, they're mobilizing right next to Cuba.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to happen. You know, I don't see it not happening. They wouldn't mobilise like that fucking for shits and giggles. So I think that they're trying to wrap up the problem with Iran, and then as soon as that's done, Cuba's next. Like I said, I think they'll fucking hit the cartels in Mexico as well. But yeah, I think things are like, I think you're going to see a lot of things happening in the next 12 months, an awful lot. Yeah. Especially if, and I don't know how he's going to do it at this point, whether he's going to fucking throw a bunch of people under the bus with the Epstein files or what, but he's got to do something to secure these midterms. Now they're not till November.
I don't think the UFO files, UFO files or UAP files, I don't think that's worked.
No.
I think he tried to throw that out there to try and distract, and I don't think that's really attracted anything.
Yeah, I think people are wise to that as a distraction now. But I think and I did actually see something the other day about the polls and the way they've been redistricted and stuff and everything. That they could actually fucking just run amok with the midterms anyway. But either way, if they win, if the Republicans win the midterms, then I think we're going to see an awful lot of shit happening in the next year, 2 years.
So, all right, cool. My question to you then is, like, as you mentioned it already, whether maybe Epstein files, whether it's like something else to do, like within the White House or something like that, could their people be going under the bus? So just to make sure.
Yeah, I think that's to me, I think that's going to happen because the American people are screaming out for it. They're like, I talked to a lot of them, and they're all all the MAGA ones, all the Trump voters, they're all pissed off because he's went to war, even though he said he wouldn't. But to me, he's not went to war. That's not a war. That's a fucking bombing campaign.
That's just conflict. It's just argument.
But like, you know what Americans are like? They fucking like to dramatise shit. So they're like, oh, he's went to war even though he said he wouldn't. He's not released the Epstein files even though he said he would. And they're a bit frustrated. So I think that he's gonna have to pull some fucking rabbits out the hat, to get people on side.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I fully hear that. Jay, Joey, again, I'll pose the question to both of you. Like, is what Trump doing now regarding these terms a way of just putting things on a standstill there because maybe, for example, Cuba is more important?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, I agree with Gas here. I don't think he's putting it on standstill. I think he wants to just get it over and done with it. Yeah. So we can move on to the next conquest. Because if he got a couple other places in line, the last thing he wants to do is have to go backwards and forwards, spend time, energy, money, all that kind of resources to just try to fucking control that. So I think he definitely wants to end that. But the question is it going to end on the terms that he thought it was initially going to end? or is it going to end on terms that he's had to compromise a little bit so that he can get on with his shit?
No, I do hear that, bro. Because I do think that is something he's going to have to think about, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I say compromise some of his term, he's still going to be the winner. He's still going to be shown as the winner out of the whole thing. Like, yeah, I got them to do this and I got them to do that. And we've got this going on. But
There might be
it won't do everything that he wants. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear that. Definitely.
But yeah, man. Come on, Cuba. Let's go.
Yeah, Joey. Thoughts, bro? Question.
Yeah, sorry, man. I got locked up. So I came
Oh
back
yeah,
on.
I noticed. I obviously, I see you. I brought you straight back in. So my question is, yeah, considering that you've got Trump trying to obviously send these terms over, they might be toughened, but he's still trying to send terms over. Is this him showing that maybe something like Cuba is more important now than Iran or Ukraine, Russia? Like, is actually going and taking Cuba more important?
No, I think equally all of them, Iran, Russia, and Cuba, are important, but he just has to prioritize Cuba to some degree at a recent level, because what we're seeing is, and I think I've been saying this before, yeah, I feel that Trump has been playing mind games about Russia all this time. I think he's always been against Russia, but he just tried to play mind games, and
Yeah.
the fact that he's always said to Europe to up your defenses, he's saying that because he's working in collaboration with Europe to take out Russia anyway. But he just pretending to Putin, oh yeah, I don't really like him, but he just playing mind games, and I think it's in the interest.
Oh, so you reckon he's got an ulterior motive, even though they're bridging?
Yeah, I think I've said it.
Yeah, you have said it. I think you have said that once before. Still,
I think personally, him and Europe and Israel, they've got their conquests ready. This is a repeat of history. It's just empires building up on empires, and they've got a plan in it. And Iran's under this, Russia, Cuba, and yeah, I mean, I think they're all important in terms of the conquest building and the utilization of more resources. You know what I mean? I think we're at a stage now where the superpowers, they need the resources, and this is like a resource war as well as a territorial war. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think they're all important. Cuba, Russia, Iran, they're all important. But yeah, he's been playing mind games, and I still believe he's been playing mind games with Putin all this time. Yeah,
that's mad still. That is mad still. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know what I think, yeah? Now Joey said it, this whole movement that's going on, it's just a resource war, isn't it? Who can acquire the most resources to control the world?
Oh, so resource war, yeah?
Yeah, I mean territory as well, but I think mainly resources, because if you've got the main resources like all the oil and fertilizers and stuff that countries need for production and all the rest of it, you become like the one everyone comes to, innit? The greatest resource guy. So I think people are trying to gain the resource. I know at the moment Russia are doing quite well with the oil, because obviously they've had to go to Russia now for oil, and they can sell their oil more so because Iran and the Strait of Hormuz is fucked up, innit? So I think, yeah, the resources is definitely like one of the key elements to what's going on, I reckon.
No, I hear it, man. Still. Just so you know, I've sent an invite gold still, so when you're ready, just accept that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do feel like there is some sort of element of chess being played. After listening to everyone, I think it is more of a case of let's get this done so we can go and deal with Cuba. You know what I mean? Cuba's next on the list. Let's go deal with that. But before we deal with that, we need to sort this shit out, bro, because I can't be going back and forth. That's madness. Like, you see what I was saying? So, good luck. I hear what everyone's saying still. So let's move on to the last topic of the evening. Again, as I said, just accept the invitation when you're ready, bro. You know what I mean? Hopefully you're listening, and if you're not, just let me know, bro, and I'll read over again. But yeah, what I have in front of me is this. Labour have been accused of handing a 37 million favour back to trade union barons who bankrolled Smithers' march on Downing Street. The Employment Rights Act, a law backed by the very unions that poured millions into the party's election war chest, contains a provision which critics say will funnel more cash back to Labour. Under the controversial legislation, employees would automatically be signed up to see part of their union dues ring-fenced for political funds, reversing the current system where workers must actively choose to opt in. 4 of the unions that backed the bill have also given generously to the Labour Party since Smithers became leader in 2020. Unite donated 9.4 million, Unison 8.5 million, GMB 8 million, and US Door 5.6 million to the party's war chest. Union barons have praised the bill, with Unison hailing it as groundbreaking, transformative, and a game changer. The GMB called it the biggest step forward for workers' rights in 50 years. And USDAW went further, claiming it showed the Labour Union link is at its very best. One second. Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith branded the bill payback, plain and simple. He said Labour's union paymasters have ploughed 37 million into Starmer's party since 2020, and now they are cashing in, warning the act would make it almost impossible to find a job, as businesses won't dare hire when every new worker is a legal minefield. Mr. Griffith also added that, mark my words, these laws will drag us straight back into the chaos of strikes in the 1970s. Britain deserves better than this union stitch-up. Robert Colville, director of the Centre for Policy Studies, said Labour came into power promising to make growth their number one mission, and had reassured businesses they were the key to achieving this goal. One sec. But he said the reality has been crushing new regulations like the Employment Rights Bill, which the government actively refused to get a proper costing for. Mr. Colville said the approach was strangling the economy at the worst possible time, warning that workers benefit most from a vibrant, flourishing economy with businesses competing to attract talent, not one strangled by red tape in which the cost of doing business is creeping up by the day. The row comes as critics warn the legislation will pile costs onto employers, with unemployment already rising and the jobs market under pressure. A Labour Party spokesman said the act was part of the biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation. They added that the government had increased the national minimum and living wage and improved parental leave. This is what being on the side of working people looks like, they added. So yeah, what's your thoughts on this, peeps?
It's standard fucking union and labour partnership, innit? Like, they give the government money, the government then gives them all the fucking things the union wants. But I think it's even more than that, because see, like, with all this crazy ideology that the government's got, like, the unions have been highly involved in that shit. They're the ones that have been out with the prepaid fucking placards, you know, all these fucking perfectly printed things for all the Palestine marches and all that shit. Like, the unions have been highly involved in that stuff, so I think it's more than just the union funds that have been given. I think this is like the unions were basically like, right, we've played your game to back you in these ideologies, now back us on all these union things that we want.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And just quickly, before I obviously ask for other thoughts on that, you know what I mean? I find it a bit convenient that not long ago, I think maybe 3 spaces ago, 4 tops, we actually spoke about how the unions were going to step away from Labour, and from then till now, all of a sudden they're handing over money to trade union barons, and everyone's happy.
Right, now you'll like ask yourself this one, because we just talked about the thing with youngsters not getting work and all the immigrants are getting work. So does this mean that immigrants are going to get jobs and then employers are going to be hamstrung? They won't be able to sack them, they won't be able to discipline them, they won't be able to do shit, and all these immigrants that have now got jobs are going to have more rights than fucking we've ever had before?
do you like if that is the case, or there is a possibility of that happening? Wouldn't that cause madness in the workplace? Really?
Yeah.
Like, mad.
And to me, that also goes hand in hand with the thing that small businesses will be hit hardest. Because big businesses can always absorb shit because they just fucking raise prices or whatever, you know. It's
Well,
like
especially conglomerates, they've just got conveyor belts when it comes to employing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
conveyor belt.
Do you know what I mean? If you're a giant company like Tesco or whatever, they're not going. It's not going to affect them at all because they just raise the fucking price of a tin of beans 3 pence and whatever, and it absorbs that shit. Like so it'll hit small businesses, and then this just goes to the more globalist shit. You know, no middle class, fucking corporatocracy, fucking big business and government working hand in hand. The road to fascism is near, people.
No, I fully hear it, man. I fully hear it. Joey, any thoughts, peeps?
Just I get clarity again. So basically, a lot of money has been handed over to trade union bosses.
Yeah, so 37 million. Like, it's been like a favor. Like, so basically, they applied millions into Starmer's march towards becoming prime minister. You know what I mean? And now, through the Employment Rights Act, by the looks of things, they're able to ring fence certain like trade union dues, and in turn of that, 37 million as a favour has been now given back to them unions, and everyone seems to be happy that they're getting money.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, because at the same breath, it's like it's good.
Hey,
that,
welcome.
It's good that workers are being granted rights, you know what I mean, behind the trade unions. But at the same time, you got to think about it this way. Like, sometimes it also depends on the actual workers. Like, for example, like when you live in a big city like London or whatever, you're going to have a lot of train strikes all the time, and people are pissed off with train strikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to think about it that way.
Well, there's train strikes coming up, innit? I swear there's train strikes coming up. Which, like, I think there's a tube driver strike about to happen.
Exactly. So sometimes there's debates about whether these people should be striking when they're getting paid a lot of money and it's disrupting people's lives. And then you got a debate as to whether we should be granting more workers' rights. But I think it's good that trade unions are still being...
Welcome. Yeah, no, go on, finish.
I think it's good that trade unions are still being strengthened, you know what I mean? Because historically, that was what the Labour Party was for anyway, to protect the workers, do you know what I mean? So you can see it both ways, I guess. I don't know to what extent it will grant rights when we've got like mass unemployment and new technology that's going to probably replace many workers. I don't know how far that can go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it might help though. It might assist, because if you've got them strengthened ties with the unions now, that might stop people from being unemployed. That might prevent people being forced to leave work and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah.
It does depend on the rights that workers get as well. You know, obviously, like, I believe in workers' rights. You know, like, you need to be able to be protected from a cunt boss, but at the same time, some businesses need protected from cunt workers. Like I know that a few months back they introduced this thing, like, workers' rights. You know, like, so from day one you've got all these rights. And so basically, like, I could be offered a job, right? And then, like, before my first day, I could phone in sick and just say, no, I'm having a mental health day. You know, and that's like, and so there's certain things, obviously, you go, right, workers need to be protected, but business still needs to be able to operate, you know, and when you give unions too much power, this is what created the problem back in the late 70s with miners and shit like that, where all of that stuff needed reformed, and the unions just fought tooth and nail to say we're having none of it, and it basically took down the whole mining industry. Because, like, even though I hate Margaret Thatcher, like, she told the unions, you need to reform this because our mines are not viable, so they need to be reformed. And the unions went fucking mental, had giant strikes and that, and so what happened? They just shut down all the fucking mines because they couldn't afford to survive. And it was the same thing. See, like, with the media, I don't know if you guys remember this one, but there was a thing, basically, the printing press, it was gone, you know, the old-fashioned printing press, the way they did it, and they fuckers all went on strike, but it had to be reformed because technology changed. You know, it wasn't the old-fashioned thing of, like, putting, like, little fucking metal letters onto a thing and then it was getting printed over the top, and it was like, no, digital reformed all of that. And some things, you know, and market concern is always like, you've got to give workers rights, but you've also got to let business be able to do business. And if you give the unions too much power, and this is what Labour does, like too much power in the unions, it stifles productivity in the country. You know, it's a balance, I suppose.
No, I hear it. I do hear that. Jay, thoughts, bro?
Oh, I think like most of the institutions right now, everything's being politicized, isn't it? And being used as a political tool. And obviously through the evidence that we've seen through the trade unions, I mean, they've been supporting all these protests in London. And, you know, I understand that everyone has to have working rights, isn't it? But I just feel that it's been used now as a tool, in it, more so politically than what the actual definition of what it is. Again, especially like with small businesses and medium businesses, man, they need to be protected more so because of the fact that, you know, having a member of staff to come in and then that member of staff messes about or like ducks out and then you got 5 other members is very hard to them, tiresome on the company, like resourceful. And like with big companies like Gaspanic was saying, they can just absorb the thing. And so I think if the employment demographic has shifted from people who go through the country's educational system, come out and get into a job, but now that has changed to people that are coming into the country are getting a job. The demographic completely changed, so you are gonna find like a mad issue, especially for small businesses. So they need to be protected. Although like you're saying, like workers' rights need to be protected, but to a certain limit, man. Because I know when I was working at B&Q, there was many members, who claimed anxiety and stuff like that, and they went off for months and they were getting paid, and I was just like, well, like we're all like adults here. You could join the company. If you knew you had that, then you should have made them aware so that they could get you cover. But it's never like, and that person actually, he got bare support from the company's health thing, and like anytime he needed anything, like he got it. And it kind of felt like, oh wow, this person is just got this power and they're abusing it, and we're working the same with them, and we're not allowed to do it. So it does create conflict within businesses as well. So I think it definitely needs to be there, but I think there needs to be a standardized where it protects both the company and both the worker of the company.
Even you think what unions were started because it was basically guys that worked in mines and shipyards and steelworks and real fucking backbone, like country building fucking industries.
What they my classes.
Yeah, and these people got together and they were like, right, we need fucking better pay, we need better conditions, and that, to me, that's fucking 100%, right, man, that's the kind of shit, but we don't have those industries now. So what are these unions? The union, like, I mean, I think there's one for like a civil service one, there's one for school teachers and shit, like there's one, I don't know like what they are, but generally most of the unions now are office based, right? Like, and to me that's like, man, what fucking paying conditions are you applying for? And most of them they're paid by the government. You know, so it's like, well, you're in a union to argue with the government, and the government is the one that decides your wages, and then, like, to me, it's a bit fucked up.
Yeah, no. So the question I will ask is, are the unions out there that obviously people join to, You know what I mean? To obviously to get the help when in the workplace and that. Are they for the people that actually sign to them and pay them to come and help them out in their job in their certain situations, or are they actually, as you said, office based and actually there for the government really?
Well, here's the thing, right? See, unions exist, right? But see if you're in a job, right, and there's a union and you don't join that union, you still have exactly the same rights as anyone that's in that union. Exactly the same, right? So it's like realistically, like if you go into your job and you're not in the union and your employer does something, you still have the same access to fucking fair and like job.
No, I hear that.
No,
but
no.
is it more difficult to actually exercise them rights when you don't have a union rep behind you?
Well, I mean, it's not harder to get your rights, but it's like when you've got the union behind you, you obviously there's influential people at play. But even at so, like I remember 25 years ago, I used to work for the DWP, right, and fucking. And I had a fucked up thing happen to me, so I needed the union, right, and fucking, and what I realised was that if the person that's dealing with you from the union, if they don't like you, then they don't give a fuck. So it really is down to that basic primal monkey shit. Like fucking, if the lead monkey likes you, then you're getting help, and if the lead monkey doesn't like you, you're not getting help.
Yeah, madness.
No, I hear it. I fully hear that. I fully hear it. Sorry about that. I just quickly shout out to the door. But yeah, no, I fully hear what you're saying, bro. Because even though I was answering the door, I heard you. Any other thoughts before I start asking for the final ones?
That's it.
All right, then, people. Then I will ask for your final thoughts on the space. How you found it today?
Yeah, man, big up everyone. We had a great discussion. I was quite impressed today with Gaspanic's tinfoil hat moment when we spoke about the Middle East and Israel. I thought that was quite compelling coming from Gaspanic.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I quite enjoyed the discussions. Big up to Twitch, you was on earlier, and big up to Gold listening in. And yeah, hope everyone continues to have good days in the sunshine. I think it's getting a bit too hot now. I would like it to cool down, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Because our country's not designed for this heat. You know what I mean?
It's the same.
Yeah, our one's weird, man. So, but yeah, no, big up regardless. And yeah, cool.
No, wicked, man. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, good space as ever, man. It was good today, like because there was quite a bit of difference in the opinion today. It made me think on some shit, like because obviously I'm not fucking always right. You know, sometimes I'm misinformed. But it's fucking no, it was good.
Well,
Gave me things to think about, so that was cool.
No, wicked, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Co-host with the most.
Yeah, man. Great space as always. Good conversations and that. What can I say? Be more like Poland. Yeah, man. You know what? Yeah, things are going. We're going through these spaces, and you know, things that we talk about. Some of them happen. Some of it don't happen, and it's really interesting to see like how people's thought patterns work compared to reality, and how close it is as well. And we're just nobodies living our lives, man. We ain't got no power information from the top. And it's crazy that we can gain this kind of understanding that quite quickly, effectively, and implement it. So big up everyone as always. And yeah, man, big up Dotty.
No.
Jeez, fuck the hanky,
Yeah, man, because I've been suffering today. I'm not gonna lie. I've been suffering, but I'm here still, you know. I'm here. Yeah, well, what I will say to people is thank you for everyone jumping in today. It's actually, again, it's been a good space today, man. As you said, there's been some differences. Like, there's been some talk, and I'm like, okay, it's made me think of some stuff. So I know tomorrow I'm going to be on my laptop, or I'm going to be on my phone, I'm going to be looking at stuff. So thank you for that, you know what I mean? Thank you to you, Gaspanic, as per usual, you know what I mean? Always a pleasure, you know what I mean, having you on, bro. So thank you. Thank you to you, Gold, for jumping in. I know that you were a listener today, but thank you for jumping in. Thank you to you, Jen, also, you know what I mean, for jumping in right at the end there. You know what I mean? Thank you to Twitch, you know what I mean, as well. That was in earlier. She had some good views and opinions. It was actually decent having her in today as well. That was wicked. You know what I mean? Thank you to her. You know what I mean? Thank you to you, Man of Balance, you know what I mean, MLB. You know what I mean? Always active. Thank you so much for being in today. And obviously, co-host of the most. It's been an honor. You know what I mean? Also, thank you to Fulham Fallout. You know what I mean? Kane Mayfield. You know what I mean? Issa May. You know what I mean? Everyone else that jumped in. You know what I mean? That we didn't see. And other than that, people them.
Peace out.
Yeah. Take it easy,
Nice
though.
one.
We'll be back real soon. That'll be big up some more convo. And until that time, I'll speak to everyone real soon, peeps.
Yeah.
Cheers.